asked. My apologies. Christine Hendrick. Peter Seaton. My mother sent me here to work in the summers before I go back to college. Where do you go? Back to Rice University. Mom says it's the best in the state. By 2:20 p.m., JR goes back to the hotel room where his cell phone rings. It's Karen Kreider. I'm in Charleston. When are you going to be there? Karen asked. 3 more days. I'll call you Saturday night. We can go to church on Sunday morning, JR says. Believe it or not, JR, I miss you, Karen says. I miss you too. Let's go for lunch at the church. We can catch up like old time, or like new time, JR said. By 3:45, Ken is still napping. JR calls his mother for a few minutes, who is out on the beach with Amy, Kathleen, and Christine. By 4:45 p.m., bored, JR goes downstairs to the hotel bar and orders a margarita. Howdy, partner. A woman with brown hair and a red pantsuit appeared. Sasha, JR asked. My boyfriend dumped me Saturday, and I feel so alone, Sasha said, hugging JR. So that's why you're here at this hotel bar? No, my mother is staying with me here, and she's napping. My best friend is the same way. Hey, you want to grab some dinner? I don't know. Michael might see us. I don't care if he sees us. He dumped you, so I don't care. We had tickets Saturday night for Aerosmith. He canceled the tickets and broke up with me. Come on, let's go to the upstairs lounge and talk. At 5:55 p.m., JR returns to the hotel room. He has a quarrel with Ken, and then he has a quarrel with his mother over Thomas asking him to return home early. I swear, I'm getting out of here, Gerald said, slamming a book on the table. Don't wait up for me, Ken. He gets downstairs, where Sasha beckons him into her Corvette rent-a-car. She takes him to the Montgomery Public Library. To the Montgomery Public Library. Alright. Where they can relax and read. By 8:30 p.m., Brad calls JR at the hotel. Feeling alright? JR asked. Yeah, making some Slurpees for me and my mom. How are you doing, JR? Brad said. Well, I'm about to interview an Alabama state senator. Meanwhile, my BFF here has been consoling me. But hey, the time is coming soon, Gerald said. What's the plan? Interview the senator in his office? No. The interview is in the Alabama Senate chamber. Just leave Ken behind. Quit being so mean to Ken. Goodbye. Jared goes outside to catch a car service. He calls Frank. Remember to pick me up when I call you, Jared said. Okay. Hugh Medford, we had to drop off because he's still angry at you, JR. But Mike and I are ready to go. Mike Cortis, the same, was with us all the way through prep school. Jay arrives at the Capitol. A secretary greets him at the front desk. May I help you? Tours are closed down this evening, the secretary said. Oh, he's here to see the senator, a sergeant at arms said. Yes, sir. And he's in the Senate chamber, right? Jared said. Yes, sir. Head up. Jared goes into the elevator up to the Senate chamber. It is there that the interview begins. The senator, being a moderate, was conservative on some views. He wouldn't compromise on positions on gay rights or abortion, being against them. When JR exited the building, he called Frank. You guys almost here? He asked. Yeah, we're just around the corner, coming to pick you up. The limo showed up 5 minutes later. Alright, let's go back to the hotel and celebrate, JR says. You guys got mixed drinks up there? Mike asked. No. We're not partying like you and Mike Pershing did in your 2 years at Texas Tech, or like you're about to do at Harvard. No, I had my one drink today. That's all I need, Jared said. 9:30 p.m. They show up at the hotel room and called Brad. He was more than thrilled it was all over, and asked JR to email him the notes to send around. They started drinking glasses of Sprite and Dr. Pepper. July 28th began interesting. At 7:30 a.m., JR wakes up depressed until Ken walked in. I got us some donuts, 2 dozen. One's mixed, and the other one, my favorite, cake donuts, Ken said. Well, what am I depressed about? JR said. Let's chow down. Prayer first, Ken said. By 10:30 a.m., JR and Ken go to the lake. JR sees a ladder, a steady one, tied to the string of near a tree. He climbs up the ladder to the top of the tree. He then dove inside the lake. Ken said. I never should have dared you to go off the high dive before we left, Ken said. JR emerged from the water. It's better than dying. Ken takes a picture of JR. He then says he'll put it in his journal. 1 p.m. Brad calls JR at the hotel. Well, welcome to the last political observation, I hope, Brad said. Man, what's wrong with you? JR asked. It's all over every BBS in Texas. People think your dad's making a fluke for a power grab, Brad said. Frank gets angry. Knock it off, Brad. His daddy wanted him to do this, so we're doing it. Hope this is the last time we get called by your dad, Brad said. Goodbye. Frank and JR exit the hotel, and they climb into jail, and they call a call service. Man, Brad is being cowardly, JR said. Enough with the sad goodbyes. Well, if you wouldn't always hang with that man, in college, you wouldn't be so depressed. And I happen to know this summer he has a hatred for Ken, Frank said. He's in Colorado, getting what the hell he wants. JR, please. Not everything has to do with your dad and what he wants. The sooner you can get your head out of the gutter, the sooner we can get this done and celebrate. They arrive at the Alabama State Capitol, where Leslie arranges a tour for them, along with dinner before nightfall. At the same time, Jim and Claude check into a motel in Deming, New Mexico. Their plan was to be at the rig at night. The rig foreman said the rig didn't have that much formation. At 6 a.m., JR and Leslie have dinner at a nearby steakhouse. They talk about her grandfather having stage 4 cancer. JR expresses his sympathy. Grandpa's pilot will be meeting us at the airport by dark. He has a state representative who you'll interview during the aerial tour of the city and the state capitol. By 9 p.m., the plane is on the tarmac. JR, Frank, get on, the pilot said. Representative Blakely is ready for your interview. JR began to talk to the Alabama state representatives as the plane is in takeoff. Representative Blakely made plain his clear conservative views against abortion and gay rights. JR took copious notes. At 9:15 a.m., a stretch limo took JR, Frank, and Mike back to the hotel room that belongs to Frank. At 9:45, they arrive at Frank's hotel suite and call Brad. Print copies and email the notes that you had for this interview. I have to say, JR, you really get it. Praise Jesus. Now, can I get a soda? Frank pours JR a Sprite. Get that depressive look off your face. JR, you did a wonderful thing today. JR drinks his Sprite. I got a phone call from Rand. Hey, I can go outside in the hall, Frank said. No. You don't know how to handle Rand like I do. Kim picks up JR in the car and JR answers his phone. I'm skipping school to fly to Montgomery, and I need to meet you alone, Rand said. Why? We did this thing for Daddy. I understand that, but riding in that new 1993 Rust Bucket, that's got to go. Cut the crap, Rand, Ken yelled. You've been throwing that crap since Allen Prep, so if you don't stop, you face me. Okay, fine. I'll take our car service tomorrow morning to Riverfront, and I'll be alone, Rand. Meet me there. July 29th of 1993 was a rather interesting day. JR is up at 5:55. He and Ken are playing a game about